Hi, my name's Logan, and I'm trying to read the Bible this year. And I want as many of you guys to come along with me as possible. I'll be posting every day until we've completed the whole Bible, and together we can grow stronger and dive deeper into the Word than we ever have before. And without further ado, we'll join our hands in prayer. Thank you, Lord, for bringing us here today. Thank you for, the encouraging words that you have, and thank you so much for, your peace and your grace that have, allowed us to continue. I pray for the Philippines, and I pray for the U.S. and the leaders that have to make tough choices, and I pray that, the people that are currently in power, you can bless them with some wisdom. In your name we pray. Amen. So, yeah, today's story is crazy. So, it's the story of Abram, who later on becomes Abraham, and Sarai, who later on becomes Sarah, and that's about as normal as I can. That's the only normal thing about this whole story. So Abram and Sarai were in the middle of just living their lives, and then this huge drought and famine comes to their land. And so they head over to Egypt because Egypt has food apparently. And when they show up, Abram tells his wife, he goes, "You can't be my wife anymore. You have to pretend to be my sister, because if you're my wife, they're going to kill me, and then they're going to mistreat you. But if you're my sister, maybe something good will happen." And apparently Sarai's like a 11 out of 10, just like a total smoke show. So so now they get to Egypt, and the Pharaoh sees her, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, she is a smoke show. I definitely want that." So he rewards Abram for bringing her to this land, and he gives him sheep and camel and some silver, and boom, now he's loaded, but his wife is with the Pharaoh. And then the Pharaoh gets a sickness, or his household gets kind of a sickness, and that's when Sarai fesses up, "Oh, I'm married. That's probably why you guys are all cursed, and you need to give me back to my husband," essentially. And Pharaoh is of course upset, but he kind of lets them go, and he lets them keep their gifts, and he doesn't really do anything to them at that point. And so they go off and they settle this land, and they make a monument for the Lord, and God is pleased with them. And then they're kind of working through their problems. They've got some neighbors. One of them's a relative. His name is Lot, and there's this big war that happens between 7 different kings, and essentially Lot was living near one of these kingdoms that lost the battle. And so he gets taken with all of his property and belongings and everything. And this is a relative of Abram. So Abram gets, a group, I think it says, of 308 men together, and they go rescue him, and they kind of save him, and they bring all of his stuff back. And, at that point, God comes back. He makes a covenant with Abram that says that, you're going to be as plentiful as the dust that is on earth. So basically, you're going to have a zillion kids. The only problem with this is Abram is already 68 years old, and so far has not had one kid. Sarai is barren, and so Sarai gets this great idea that, oh, well, if God says Abram's going to have kids, and I can't have kids, well, he should just, boink the serving girl. So now Abram goes and sleeps with the serving girl, and the serving girl gets pregnant, and of course that makes Sarai very, very upset, and so she mistreats the serving girl. The serving girl runs off. She's still pregnant at this time, and one of the Lord's angels comes down to her and basically says, "You need to go back, and Sarai will get what's coming to her, and you don't worry, your kid is going to be great and fantastic." The kid's name, by the way, is Ishmael. And at that point, after some time passes, Abram is now 99 years old. Still hasn't had any other kids other than Ishmael. And God comes to him and says, bow down before me, and I will make a new covenant with you. And so now Abram is called Abraham, Sarai is called Sarah, and the covenant has to do with kind of the circumcision practice. So basically, on the 8th day after a child is born, you have to be circumcised. So now imagine a 99-year-old Abraham is running around circumcising all of the men that are in his family, including himself, so that he might have a kid. And so next thing you know, Sarah is pregnant, and their kid is to be named Isaac. This is, incredible story. But we will continue this tomorrow, and I hope you found this entertaining. And I hope you find this as a way to grow in your faith. Bye.